Hi, so I want to make this video just so that you are ready and prepared for the health department inspection. As you know, we've already submitted all of the requirements that are needed with the initial inspection paperwork, and now the health department actually have to come out to do the physical inspection. So this video is going to cover some of the things that are required for the house to have in place in order to have a successful inspection. So I'm going to share my screen, and of course, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. If we need to schedule a time to speak, I'm more than happy to schedule the time to speak with you. But I do know that because you are very busy, making these videos help, and it saves you time and it saves me time, and it's a win-win. But at no time do I want you to feel like this video alone should be all that you need. I am still here to help you. So along with this video, you're also going to receive a list of paperwork of what you need to post around the facility. And so we're going to go over those things right now, okay? So we can see the screen. At this point, we've already completed all of these requirements. Just make sure that you have the 2 sinks and they are labeled. Like one of them will be the hand washing sink. I'm going to send you the labels. Please print them out and label hand washing sink. When the health department show up, they need to see that, okay? That you have a sink that is associated with food preparation and you have another one that is associated with hand washing. So the one for hand washing, since its purpose is only to wash hands, that one needs to be labeled, okay? Place a thermometer in the sink and check the hot water temperature. Okay, when the health department show up, they want to also make sure that your hot water is in the correct range. So please make sure that those thermometers that you buy, one for the refrigerator, one for the freezer, and one for the sink. Okay, so place one in there so they can check the temperature. The temperature should be anywhere between 110 and 115. Okay, if it's 120, it is too hot. Okay, so your ideal number needs to be around 115. Okay, dishwasher, please make sure you double check the dishwasher and make sure that it's actually working. Okay, your dishwasher needs to work. They are gonna check your dishwasher. So you need to have 2 sinks, 1 dishwasher. If you don't have a dishwasher, you need to have 3 sinks. Okay, so always with a dishwasher, 2 sinks, 1 label, hand washing sink, and your dishwasher is working. Your hot water needs to be around 115. If it's 120, it's too hot. Okay, please make sure that there is 1 dresser, 1 lamp for each resident. Make sure that the beds, the mattress are inside of the bed proof cover because they don't want to have bed bugs. So they want to make sure the mattresses are inside waterproof covers. And I shared the link with the blog and the list where you can get the list of these equipments that I'm mentioning to you. So you can just click and go. I'm going to share that with you. Also, make sure we have grab bars in the bathrooms. By now, at this point, you already have grab bars. Just make sure if you haven't gotten your grab bars installed yet, make sure you get them installed. And of course, I'm going to share the video link with you as to how the grab bars needs to be installed. Okay, I've already covered the waterproof covers on all the resident mattresses. Okay, make sure you have proper lighting. So the more lighting, the better. So ideally what you want to have is you want to have all of the curtains open. Make sure there's lots of lighting. For some reason, the health department family members, they don't like a dark house. And the inspectors usually have a little thermometer where they go and check for the lighting. Okay, so if the house is not so bright, please replace the light bulbs with the brightest light that you can find. And also maybe you can get some lamps. You can order a couple of lamp stand on Amazon, but do make sure you have more than enough lighting. Don't assume that they're going to be okay with that, because they're not. Okay, make sure you have enough lighting. Emergency food supply. You don't necessarily have to have the emergency food supply, because sometimes it takes time to get the license. So be prepared to explain that to them, letting them know that you have a BJ's card or a Sam's Club card, whatever card that you plan to use to go and purchase your emergency food supplies. And as you know, your emergency food supplies will come from the menu. So the menu that the dietitian gave to you that we use to submit the application, there is a emergency food supply menu in it. It will have the ounces, how many residents you're supposed to have, how many ounces of each item you're supposed to purchase. So for those menus, all you have to do is purchase the number of items per ounces that you need to have for your resident. And you also need to buy some extras around emergency time. Not right now, but around emergency time, like around hurricane season, because you will need to have enough for your emergency staff that's going to stay with you at your facility during the emergency times. Okay, so you don't necessarily have to have the supplies right now, but you need to show that you have the ability to buy it, and you need to explain it in a way that the inspector understand that you understand you need to buy the supplies. Okay, and remember, I refer Ana Alves as the dietitian. So you have your regular menus, your daily menus, and then you have your emergency disaster menu. That's the one that we're talking about here. So for your emergency food supply, you do have to label the cabinet where you're going to put your emergency food supplies. So you're literally going to say emergency food supplies and put that label over that cabinet. Okay, your daily food supplies, you have to put that label over that cabinet. So those two things are not one and the same, even though when you do purchase your emergency management food, you're going to end up using some of it for your residents, but you're going to replace. So in essence, you're going to buy the new food that you buy, you're going to put them in the back, and you're going to cycle them. You're just not going to buy them and leave them until we have a hurricane, because we may not, and the food is going to spoil and you're going to lose money. Okay, so for those two reasons, you're going to end up using them, but as you're using them, you're replacing it. So you're required to have the number. Let's say you're going to be licensed for 6 residents. If you only have 2 residents, you're required to have enough food supplies for those 2 residents, not necessarily the 6 if you don't have 6 yet. But the minute you have 6 residents there, you're required to have food supplies for those 6 residents. So it's for your current census. Okay, remember, you need to have your water, your emergency water. Again, you don't need to purchase that right now, but do show the understanding that you know you need to have it. Okay, menu with emergency menu attached, that's the one I just covered. Okay, so just make sure that you have the area labeled as to where you're gonna put the emergency food supplies, and also as to where you're going to put your daily food supplies. Okay, thermometer in the refrigerator needs to be 40 degrees or less. The freezer needs to be 0 degrees. Okay, so these are the forms that I'm going to send you. Your freezer, so these forms right here, I'm going to send that to you. That way you can print it out and put it outside of your freezer and outside of your refrigerator. Or you can put both of them on, side by side next to the refrigerator. It's not a problem. You just have to make sure that you have the forms there. Also, the one for the refrigerator, make sure that you put a date. For the inspection, they look like this. So I'm going to send that to you. So you're going to cut this out, and then you're going to put water station. That one will be wherever your seniors will drink water. Like if you have a refrigerator that have an area where you can get water to drink, that will be one section that you use for that. Storage closet, your storage closet where you put your items. You also have to have a chemical closet. Your chemical closet needs to be locked. That's where you're gonna keep your bleach, your detergent, anything that a senior can drink that will cause them to have issues. Think of them like babies, right? And so they get curious and they forget that they can't eat certain things or they can't have certain things, and then they drink it and they eat it, and that's the problem. So they want you to lock everything up. So just like your medication cabinet has to be locked, your chemical closet has to be locked. And then, of course, you're going to have your storage closet where you keep your linens and different things like that, okay? Do make sure that you do have some linens on site. And if you don't, have an explanation as to how soon you're going to buy them. The minute you find out you have a residence, 2 days before they move in, you're going to go and buy whatever you need to have. You may have some inspectors that require that you have some linens. Sometimes they also want to make sure you have toilet paper. So make sure you have toilet paper. Make sure you have good ventilations in the bathroom. You know, like open up the curtains. Make sure the grab bars are installed. The emergency food supply, make sure all of that stuff is labeled. Your daily food supply, your medication cabinet, make sure that is labeled. If you already have the medication cabinet, make sure that it's able to lock and that you label it. Your chemical cabinet, all of that stuff have to be labeled. And then you have some health department that require that you have a bathroom for staff to use. So in that case, you would just put staff restroom, okay? Staff bathroom. Okay, you label that and put some hand washing signs up, and that's about it for the health department. Just make sure when the person comes up that you greet them. Make sure the AC is nice and cool. You open up all the curtains. You put in some plugins on the wall. Make sure the place smells good, and just make sure that they see that you actually put thoughts into making sure that you have everything that is necessary for your seniors to thrive. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. So the forms that I'm going to send to you, I'm going to email them to you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye now.